This is going to be a vlog about sort of a day in the life of training today. We'll go through a triple session and then follow me for the rest of the day. We've got a couple of meetings planned, nothing too crazy. We'll show you how we like to spend our time in the afternoon, how we like to chill, and then I will take you guys on our long run tomorrow in the build up to the Sydney Marathon. Tomorrow is my first proper longer run. I think I got 25Ks, so a little bit of marathon or half marathon pace in there too, which is going to be interesting because I haven't touched that since the last time we ran a half, which was 4 weeks ago I think. But should be fun. Anyway, come along. Today you're going to see what the proper energy of a Super Saturday feels like at different, and then my favourite class of the week, the build class, where we just do all things upper body and get the biggest pump known to man. And then I've got another easy run this morning, 12Ks. I'll try to get some footage of that, but nothing too exciting, pretty boring for that one, just 12Ks, trotting along slowly, about an hour's worth of work. Got a bagel for fuel for that easy run, and then I'll take you through how I'm going to fuel my other two sessions. It is 5:40 AM on a Saturday. We usually get up at between 4 and 4:30 every day. Sometimes if it matters, you just got to make time for it. Usually Saturdays are our sleep-in, but we've got other things on throughout the day, so you just have to get out and do the thing. This is probably what most people get wrong. They'll go into a triple day like today and be like, I'm just going to do this off the back of their bagel or whatever they're eating. But in between your workouts, or in between my sessions today, obviously, I'm going to be burning a lot of carbs. So I need to make sure I'm taking what I'm burning if I want to perform. So after this long run, I'll probably have this, which is overnight Weet-Bix and my Falls protein caramel cup. This is the GO combo. I would not change it for anything. Got that with some March On workout fuels, got about 20 grams of carbs in it, some sodium. I'm probably going to have 2 scoops of that and sip on that during the strength session and then also during the high rock session. This is just my my easy run. Typically we do threshold work on a Saturday, but Luke told me today to just take the running a little bit easier because tomorrow we're doing 25K, so no one else around. This is when it counts. It's so nice running when there's no one else around. Makes you think that you're made of something else. Today's Hyrox class or our event with Sachet, Rob, is going to be absolutely crazy. Last time I checked, there were 75 people booked in. I wanted to take this opportunity to talk about something I've seen online recently. I don't claim to be an expert endurance coach. Certainly I'm not, but I understand the principles and demands that training puts in your body in the stress your body accumulates. So I want to address this. I've seen a lot of people, probably I've seen 4 people in the last 5 days who have been injured, predominantly in this hybrid endurance space, and I just think people are getting it wrong. They don't understand, like, this is not CrossFit. CrossFit is, and I can speak from experience because I've done it, tend to train too hard, too regularly, and they back up hard days with more hard days, and they're just constantly taxing this central nervous system, and then it compounds and they get injured. That's why there's such a high incidence of injury in CrossFit. But anyway,
I'm not talking about CrossFit athletes right now anyway. I'm talking about this whole hybrid mentality. And obviously that's how I train. But the one thing that I've learned, this is why it's so important to have a coach, is that you cannot stack hard day after hard day after hard day without having a negative impact on either your personal life, that you feel grumpy, run down, beat up, your sleep's shit, or your body. And like your body, one thing's going to give, typically it's your body. And recently we're seeing so many stress factors in the endurance sphere, and I just think people are diving into things that, again, without sounding like an expert, they haven't earned the right to do. If you are going to run 70 or 80k weeks, you off 10 weeks of running experience, you're setting yourself up for failure and for an injury, and then you will not be able to train for 6 months. You look at the elite marathon runners, they've been doing this since they were 10. Their body is accustomed to the stress, and they also monitor their performance and how they're running every single day. They will never stack hard days, ever. They also are checking their lactate regularly to make sure they're not pushing over threshold. They run their easy runs super easy. This is not about more is better. It's about control work, hitting the quality sessions when you can, when your body feels right to, and doing it in a measured way, and then running your easy or doing your easy work properly easy. And 80% of your work should be easy. The remainder can be hard. Get a coach. Make sure you're monitoring your heart rate and the stress you're accumulating, and do not stack hard days after hard days after hard days, because you will get injured. You're not an anomaly, unfortunately. I just wanted to caveat what I was just saying, by admitting I'm not perfect, and I certainly get stuck in the rat race and caught in the rat race of pushing too hard, especially in my past life, like last year when I was training for my Gold Coast Marathon. I was just like training far too hard, trying to do high rocks and marathon running at the same time, but then also my easy paces just were not easy. Basically, I was just accumulating fatigue. I wasn't building fitness, I was just accumulating fatigue, and it meant that when I went to do my hard sessions, like my tempos, my thresholds, my VO2 max sessions, I was just cooked. For the last sort of 4 to 6 months, I've been running 100km a week. Okay, and yes, I'm a bit more experienced, etc., but I haven't had a niggle. I think that's saying something. So effort is not a pace, or easy is not a pace. Easy is a perceived effort. If you're in Perth and you run a lot, you'll know what Lake Munga is. But how's that? Okay, so I'm just finished. We had just over 12Ks and 10 meters, I think. 5:01 pace, average heart rate 129. Nice and easy. Probably didn't seem like it when I was running and trying to talk to camera. I'll get better at that, but I felt like I was holding my breath the whole time. But yeah, this is what I mean. You just have to stack easy sessions over the easy sessions, and then when you want to go hard, you go hard. I might push a little bit in the hard rock session, but it won't be anything crazy. Try and minimize as much running as I can, but tomorrow 25 kilometers with some marathon efforts or some half marathon efforts. The longest run I've done today for the Sydney Prep, so feeling good.
What's the session today?
Part 1 is upper body, all upper body, pump as hard as we can. Sink your juice.
they have just released a 6 sachet electrolyte brand. So Goose is going to come up, talk a little bit about it. You guys can get around it at the end or throughout the workout.
Quick recap. That was chaos. That was organized chaos. So sick. That kind of environment is why we do it. Group fitness is the GOAT for that exact reason. You just cannot train like that if you are by yourself. It's impossible.
I did that class this morning at 5 a.m. and I can strongly agree that I did not go that hard. So I'm jealous.
Yeah, so cool. And everyone got around Goose's brand too, which is exactly why we did it. Like, we wanted to help out one of our members who's doing something that is against the grain. I think people are getting a little bit too comfortable and doing just sort of like conforming to the status quo, you know. Do something for yourself, try something new, take a risk, it'll pay off. His brand is sick, the branding is so cool, it genuinely works, and I'm so stoked that he got that in front of 60 new faces or 70 new faces, how many people were there.
Everyone loved it.
Yeah, and I think he sold actually quite a lot of products too,
Yeah.
which is the end goal always. We are now going home quickly to refuel, get changed, shower, and then we're gonna go and meet some clients for lunch in Cottesloe. So come along for the ride. But what a morning. That is how you do it at Different. The double, well actually the triple for me, but the double build into the Hyrox class is unbeaten. And if you want to get fit, if you want to be a hybrid athlete, that's how you do it, right there.
Okay. Quick recap on the rest of the day yesterday. Finished that workout, went and had lunch with welcome to Sunday, sorry. Welcome to Sunday, day 2 of the weekend of training. We went to Tigerfish here in Perth with some clients yesterday. They had an idea for something that we could do on a Saturday at the gym, so watch this space because it's going to happen. And it's really cool having clients that are so invested and they want to try new things. Pitch ideas to us, but the idea is a good one. It's definitely a good one, so we'll definitely look to implement that in the next couple of months. Our community is growing more and more by the day, so yeah, I think this one's going to be really good for building a bit of a wider reach, helping as many people as we can, but then getting a little bit of a competitive edge into fitness at the gym. This morning I have got 25 Ks with some efforts in there. I'll be running with Luke and I remember Lee from the gym with Ogging. But the marathon build is slowly starting. Yesterday I didn't run hills or thresholds, which I would usually do with Luke. Just did an easy run, and then obviously the Hyrox class and the build class, like what you saw. So today we're making up for a little bit of speed with putting that into the long run. Fueling wise, I'm having 1 bagel, 1 piece of white bread, jam, Biscoff, Vegemite, and I'll probably have 1 or 2 gels during the run. And then for the rest of the day, it's gonna be pretty much work, so the vlog will probably end there. But I'll try to take you for a little bit of the run, and then maybe a little post run recap, and that should round out the weekend of training. But as you can see, our weekends are really busy. Training is a lot, but I love it. Like, this is how I couldn't really think of a better way to spend my weekend. It used to be out drinking and partying with my friends, and now it's waking up at 6 a.m. to go for a long run. But I wouldn't change it for a thing.
run done. We had, I think, 25.6. Average pace about 4:48, I think, by the end of it. The last 7Ks picked up to about 4:20s on the way out, which was into the wind, and then probably started about 4:05 on the way back. Building a bit of confidence coming into the marathon. Running in non-plated shoes at the end of a week, so it's good to get some of those Ks in under a bit of fatigue. It just builds resilience, builds confidence. So when we start doing some of our longer runs with marathon efforts, like some of the other boys were doing today, it just sets us up really well. But now we'll sit down, refuel, and then we'll check in again in a bit. Job done. Okay, long run done. Week of training done. Well, weekend of training done. Finishing off the week with some online programming now. I got a couple of online clients who I'm writing some marathon programs for, some Hyrox competitors, and then also just some general strength. Some people who are interested in the hybrid methodology. So finishing that off, then we're about to go for a nice lunch with some friends who are actually also clients, but we're friends first. And then probably watch a movie, maybe play some board games or something later. I am going through my usual overnight Weet-Bix. I might put the recipe for that in the caption because honestly, it is goated. But successful weekend. The longest run I've done in 2026. Longest run I've done in a long time actually, and it felt really good. So the build to the Sydney Marathon is well and truly on. I think my Strava set at about 106 or 107 Ks this week, and that is not including the running that I did yesterday in the class and then the running that I did during the week in the classes. So it's probably more like 110 to 112 Ks worth of work. The legs are well and truly getting hammered, but feeling good. Body feels really good, still injury free, no niggles, so things are tracking it nicely. That is how we spend our week here at Different, or weekend here at Different. If you're in Perth and you're not already at Different, you can see there's a secret sauce and it works.
What are you doing?
What are you saying?
If you're not at Different, what are you doing?
Yeah, Grace said, if you're not a Different, what are you doing? But actually, honestly, what are you actually doing? Because there's running, there's lifting, there's community, there's coffees. Like, I just don't really understand why you wouldn't be. Anyway, until next time, we'll see you for the next vlog, which may be a full day of eating.